One of the hottest segments, and it's still sizzling today over the last 2 or 3 years, has been the paper side of money, currency, the Treasury Department. Coins, Treasury, they've been together for a long, long time. When's the last time you've seen one of those big jumbo notes? I mean, the small notes we have in our pocket have been there since 1928. Almost 100 years. Well, tonight, we have the last of the silver certificates that big George Washington won. Not just having the note, however. Look at our grade. The last time we had an uncirculated 23 silver certificate was in February of this year, and it lasted for like 6 minutes. So I'm anticipating a similar conversation. So we have banks back in the middle of the 1800s, and most of the banks back then are what they called later on broken banks, because if you have a piece of paper from Akron, Ohio, and now you're in the middle of Kentucky, and there's no fax machines, there's no internet, there's nobody to call to say, does this bank even exist, right? So then the U.S. government takes over paper right after the Civil War. National currency, national paper. Silver certificates, gold certificates. They made a few other treasury type notes. But it basically meant you can go into a bank and you can get a dollar bill in paper, or you can get a dollar in silver. And the front gives you the blue seal, a silver certificate, a gold seal, a gold certificate, and it was the backbone of how we did business. At that time, again, pockets were part of what we wore, the attire, but in 1923, we made these big jumbo notes. They're like 60% larger than the paper we carry in our pockets today. That change happened in 1928, as I mentioned earlier. And that small size has been there since then. So this is the last of the big jumbo notes, as they call them. It's known as the 23 large. 1923, George Washington, large size note. The significance here is this. Currency is intended to last for how long? 9 months today. And then you get the star note replacements, which are the rarer of the modern notes, and they're significantly rare if you can find them on these older notes. We're talking like, wow, rarity. But this paper was preserved as paper. They were heavily circulated, so you can see the fold marks on the average note, and it's part of the process. It just is what it is. Doesn't mean they're not beautiful, etc. Well, since the independent services at NG and PC now have currency arms, finding beautiful uncirculated notes is almost unheard of. Today, my competition has this note in circulated condition, which is a beautiful note, not an unk. And they're at $169. All right? We found one of our other competitors with an uncirculated note, like ours, and they were almost 300, 100 and change more than we are for the same beautiful notes. Finding it's always the fun part of the conversation, right? Where's the price? That's where the market dictates. Over the last 6 months, we've accumulated one here, one there. I can't think of a show where I bought more than a couple. And then sometimes when you get them back, you put them up to the light, you look under a different lighting, and you see a crease and say, wow, that's a good iron job. You kick it back into a high-grade circulated. There's a difference. There's just the crispness you hear and you feel with Unk paper. Guys, we got to put a 30-second clock up, down to my last 4 or 5. If you are visiting via the web, this is my standard call out. Push it to your shopping cart. We've already had 3 or 4 sellouts tonight. I anticipate this one disappearing quickly. But it's all about the value, right? How many silver dollars from 1923 piece can you buy in uncirculated condition? They're out there. They're a beautiful coin. But how many of them can you buy to finding one of these? There is no comparison on the rarity. There is no comparison. And the good news is tonight, we got a couple of them left. So as I reference, every once in a while we get to have some real fun. Talk about some really unique parts of our history. Paper and coin. This is the last of the jumbo notes, everybody. The last of the jumbo notes. The 1923 large GW silver blue seal. Gotta have it.